Welcome, everyone. It's great to have you here in room 123. And I don't know, are you getting a little numb yet? You know, these seats are are kind of tough that way. But anyway, my topic today is ASI Embraces the Past and Looks to the Future. And you'll see pretty quickly what we're going to talk about and concentrate on is some of the changes in facilities. We've talked a lot about those. I decided today to bring a little bit of detail so you know what will be happening as we go over the next couple of years. I'd like to first, though, talk about past in the context of where we are. And I want to touch on these two, particularly in the animal science department. We were up in enrollment almost 8%. And the most attractive thing that happened in the past year is our new students, transfers and freshmen, were up almost 20%. So we're bringing in those young students. There's some funny student demographics in all of the universities right now after we've gone through the COVID period. So we're on the rise and doing very well. If you look there, yes, that is correct. We're the largest major at K-State. And you know, it's easiest just to say half of our students are from out of state. You know, the animal science degree here is a national brand. The #1 animal science department in the United States on College Raptor. You know, we've built that national brand. We're recognized for that. But research is also a key. Our funding has stayed steady, expenditures increase. And we rank about 6th if you put us and the vet science group together on research.com. So I'm giving you these statistics and bragging a little bit. We wouldn't be where we are right now without the past and without the present. And we've done a great job with the faculty staff that we have, the facilities we have, but we want to build excellence and move to the future. We're doing that with faculty. We've hired some new faculty in the past 2 or 3 years that are just really doing a bang-up job to add to the existing folks. I think we have 4 searches going on right now to replace some of the folks that took retirement and moved on to rebuild. Right now we're concentrating on extension and engagement. And so you'll see some new faces show up with some of the young folks that we have here from the last few years. And of course, lots and lots of movement activity with our facilities. And we really need this. You'll see in a couple of the videos, we have an excellent core. We have excellent people. Gosh, we have exceptional students from Kansas and from outside. And we really need the facilities to round that out, allow us to keep our young faculty, allow us to recruit those students and keep them here, give them a better experience. So if you think about animal science, you know, you look at this picture, this is the animal science department. You see Weber Hall. You know, I think almost everyone in here realizes that the department really includes 2 buildings, okay? Here's Weber Hall here, here's Weber Arena, and it's been mentioned, I'm gonna come back to this, that's one piece of the footprint that's moving as we do these renovations. And the other building is Call Hall. You've all been there if you've eaten Call Hall ice cream. A lot more happens in that building than just Call Hall ice cream, the dairy plant that makes it, the room and nutrition labs, our food science discipline is the entire 2nd floor. So we've got 2 buildings that do a lot of things for animal sciences. I think we'll kick off what is happening now with a video just recently put together that kind of talks about the overall ag initiative. And I've got some redundancy in here between some of the slides and some of the videos, but the university's done a great job of helping build these. So I think this one's about 3 minutes.
So as you look at our programs in the animal and food sciences, we have all the important pieces to that program except for the modern edge facilities. We've got excellent faculty, we've got excellent students, enrollments up this year. The investment in facilities adds that last piece that will allow us to sustain excellence and actually become better as we move forward. Yes, it's brick and mortar investment, but without those, the capacity to attract students need to have modern facilities. We've recruited some really excellent young faculty, and we need to provide them a place to do their work and to teach their courses that will keep them at Kansas State University.
Because I think it shows that K-State cares. It shows that K-State is trying to be innovative, and it honestly shows that K-State is trying to become like the best college of agriculture that is in the country.
I think it's a great opportunity just to be involved with other students, and having that building connecting Call Hall and Weber Hall I think is a great new development that we're getting, and having it face campus definitely makes it feel more inclusive to all the students that are going to be going to those buildings. And so I think getting able to get to work in these new classrooms, get to work in these new labs, and having new equipment and everything, it's just pretty cool.
The Ag Innovation Initiative has a real deliberate focus on interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary research, but also teaching and extension or outreach. That is really true to, for me, the land-grant mission. As we look and work within the industries that are all of agriculture, it's important for us to demonstrate that as a faculty and for our students that they can understand farm to fork collectively. And that's the opportunity we have by combining our grain science, animal science, and food science initiatives under the same roof. We'll still have some level of independence, so we'll each have strengths in different programs, but this way we can truly and more fully demonstrate what it means to be farm to fork in agriculture at K-State.
So we got to figure out how can we stand out, how can we be unique? And the way you do that is you double down on what you're really good at. What are you going to be distinctive at? What's going to separate you from even other land grants? And when you think about what we do in particular in biodefense, in the bioeconomy, the unique things, the things we've done historically in wheat, the things we're doing in digital agriculture, the things we're beginning to move forward in that ag space with the livestock industry, it's really important that we continue to separate ourselves out, because distinctiveness is going to win the day.
So I really like Dr. Stewart's statement of playing to our strength. You know, we're in the heart of animal agriculture, sitting right here in Manhattan. It's, I think we all realize that, but it's probably not said enough. And so we're pushing towards that strength with these different programs. So I want to walk through some of the specific changes that are underway, that are being planned. And just to get you oriented, this is the new Global Center. Call Hall is over here, Weber Hall is over here, and they're all interconnected. You might have seen in that video, did you see Call Hall Dairy Barn? It looked a little different. It's going to be right here at the front door of this building. And so it will do what it has always done, and it'll feature all the agricultural products that come out of the College of Agriculture. So it's going to be a broad scope type of facility. Now, if you've had a chance to kind of look at these diagrams right in here, this open space and this space here, this is where Weber Arena sits now, okay? The rest of the building staying where it is. You are sitting right here in room 123. And that'll be this space. Maybe we ought to just start on that. This space will be renovated. And see this teaching lab right here, wet teaching lab, it's going to end up right there in this space where we are sitting now. So to replace this capacity that we have today, we've got to have a large classroom. We're a large major. On the second floor, right outside the Heritage Room, this is the second floor of the existing building, a 240-seat modern lecture hall. And I got a couple of renderings for that. So we'll be moving into a state-of-the-art, really, auditorium for all these large classes. What else is going in the Weber Hall footprint? Right here is a teaching pavilion, about 5,000 square feet in there. We're still going to have a lot of animals on campus, but they'll be the smaller group kind of projects. Here's the housing for those animals. And anybody that's lived through it, there's actually going to be a type of connection to the meat lab, so we don't have to haul animals 200 yards or 200 feet to get them from point A to point B. So we see a lot of our courses going on in this, our introductory courses going on, particularly in here. A couple of classrooms here on the first floor. This is the new student space. This would be the enclosed part of that, AKA the Riley Center, with a bunch of space outside for those students to interact in. So there's a lot moving into this space that's being vacated by the Weber Arena moving through. Just some renderings. Here's that teaching pavilion. It'll be state of the art. You know, as we do recordings, online classes, we'll be able to capture that very easily in this space. The animal housing is right through this wall right here. Here's the auditorium. You know, in 2 years, we hope that we're having this meeting right here in a space like this. And so this would be the auditorium that'll go in over, and AKA the Miles McKee Auditorium, over by the Heritage Center. The Riley Center, the Student Center, right here in that space on the first floor as you come in that main entrance to Weber Hall. So a lot of good things moving into the space that we're vacating with, you know, really removal of the icon of this department. Weber Arena and Animal Science and Weber Hall, they're all one, really. Down in the meat lab, new meat lab classroom, new abattoir. I don't have a picture of that. This is the cutting room. It'll be completely redone, so we have that piece of the program pulled together. In Call Hall, I'm not going to talk as much in detail about Call Hall. The dairy bar, to get you oriented, sits right over in here, and so this entire dairy plant will be renovated. Anybody in here work in the room at Nutrition Labs when they were a student? Yeah, those are getting completely redone. So they're really the worst labs we have in our complex at this point. And if you go to the second floor, renovations in some of the food science labs on the second floor. And then, of course, the Global Center, not going to talk a lot about that today. One of the key components of the Global Center is a pilot plant that will really support our food science, our animal science folks that are working with industry. So, but we could spend another half an hour talking about all the pieces of this new facility that's going to sit right between the two buildings. So I'm going to shift gears here a little bit. And Angie Denton, I think you're in here, Angie. I never really fully appreciated this picture. What makes K-State Animal Science unique? Why are we #1 on College Raptor? Why do we have so many industries want to come in here and do research with us, kind of in that developmental space? You can capture really in this one picture. We're sitting right here. You go about halfway up this picture, you're at the Stanley Stout Center in what we call our Gateway Campus, Animal Science Gateway Campus. And you go a little further up here on the horizon, those are all the animal facilities. You can capture them all in one picture. That is unique for a land-grant university animal science department today. Everything is right here. Where's Dale? Sorry, Dale. I couldn't quite capture the Stalker unit. It's a couple miles out past that. But other than that, all the facilities are right here. Sometimes we take that for granted. We shouldn't. You know, this national brand, we are recruiting the best animal ag students in Kansas. We also attract them from across the United States. One of the reasons, they come here and there are animals right out the back door in significant numbers that can support teaching and research, undergraduate research, outreach, judging, etc. So this is why we're unique and why we're at the point we are. The units, you can kind of look at those and guess. I'll leave that up for a couple of minutes, but you know, you got the swine unit, the stocker unit, and this incorporates, I think, all of them. I think, Angie, we might have missed the poultry in here, unless I look past that, but that's about the only one. The point is, this is not one unit or two units. It's a bunch of them, and don't forget the dairy plant and the meat lab down here on the main campus. So we have the capacity. The comment down front of applied experiences with Dr. Linton, we have the capacity to do those, and those are important to us in all that we do. So I mentioned the Animal Science Gateway Campus. This is what we refer to as the space up by Purebred Beef and Stanley Stout. Right up the hill, it includes the Sheep and Meat Goat Center. It's kind of the gateway to the north and the gateway back to campus. And this is what it looks like right now. This was on, I don't know if it was the hottest day of the year this summer, but it was darn close to that. There are 300 plus students over here doing a judging contest in the livestock sweepstakes. There are 300 plus more at a high school rodeo in this outdoor arena here. 600 students, 600 plus students in one day, and they're sweating. You know, I'm looking up at Chris. We had cattle classes, somebody's heifers right out here. I'm sure they were thinking, boy, they're not going to look good next week when they go to whatever show they're supposed to go to. But yeah, this is the gateway campus for us. Boy, the Stanley Stout, great facility. Purebred Beef, all the rodeo facilities. This is what it will look like, and we're hoping by August 2025. This project should start in the end of May, or April or May of this year. This is the big addition, is this arena right here that Dr. Linton mentioned to replace some of the capabilities on campus. We're really going to replace Weber Arena with two places, one for the teaching on campus, one for the larger events like the rodeo and the sweepstakes and the meat animal evaluation contest and all those kind of things. So the groundbreaking's been held for this center. The Bilbrey family gave a lot of support for this center, so it's the Bilbrey Family Event Center. And I'm going to play a video from that groundbreaking. Again, a little bit of redundancy, but if you have seen this, it's worth seeing again.
the leader of ASI, we've got exceptional faculty, we've got great students, good scientists, good research, good extension folks. This initiative first is going to provide modern, cutting-edge type of facilities for us to do our job. When the decision was made to remove Weber Arena, part of that was driven by that it was built in '58, and it would have been very expensive to make that a modern arena that would match the one that's going up by Stanley Stout. So with that removed, it opened up lots of possibilities for part of that area from which it was taken down or will be taken down. In that space will be a pavilion, about 5,000 square feet. It'll be a modern facility with modern animal housing and an intensive research animal housing adjacent to that. And so when we bring animals in, they're going to get the best care. It's going to be right there. It'll have an excellent flooring system.
As it relates to the on-campus activities, it's really going to give us an opportunity, given the holding space and the chance to build a enclosed indoor arena, tremendous lighting, new technology. It's going to give us the opportunity to not only expand what we're already doing in the classroom as a lab space. We have really high hopes of what it allows us to do even in expanding some of our online offering by utilizing the right kind of technology in that space, which is almost impossible to do in Weber Arena in its current form. You know, a lot of things that are exciting for me to be able to do. That pavilion, it will be much smaller in scale, but what we accomplish day to day in it from a teaching perspective, honestly, is going to expand.
The new arena will sit right there and really round out what we refer to as the Animal Science Gateway Campus. Really its own campus with the Stanley Stout, with the purebred beef, now with the arena there and the rodeo grounds and the sheep and meat goat at the bottom of the hill. So it's really a gathering point, as you might expect. People that come and visit campus from across campus and across the country, they really appreciate coming out there and not having to deal with campus parking.
On the simplest level, it is a new modern facility that can allow all of the things that used to happen in Weber Hall to continue to happen, and it will allow us to bring in more events and provide more opportunities for extension and education. It's going to be a tremendous student recruitment tool just as a facility, because you can have all of the kids out there in the state that are interested in equine activities now have another really nice facility in the state where they can compete. But the same is going to be true of kids in the livestock realm, because we can have cattle shows and dairy shows and swine shows and sheep shows, and the rodeo team is going to have a place where they can practice and compete. For all of us who are alumni and know that K-State Rodeo is always in the dead middle of February, and 8 times out of 10 there's an ice storm, and now horses and trailers have to park at either the Stout Center or at Seco Park. And so let's have a new state-of-the-art facility where we can have all of these events in comfort and bring in more folks and show them all the terrific things about K-State.
Well, I think that being at the ground floor, you have a little bit of say based on what you've seen that's successful. So I think that's what's exciting. And we've seen a little bit of every kind of facility out there, from kind of a grunge kind of place to the top places in the world. And so being able to bring our experience and our exposure to Kansas State University in a Kansas-based way, I think would be very helpful.
What I will tell you is we're very dedicated to making sure that arena is, number one, there for our purposes, and we're going to stay strong to that. But secondly, we